Hi, this is Assistant Professor Karen Browse. This is part 2 of the ARC screen tutorial, and this is the part where you're going to open up the Rhino file that we've prepared for you, ARC Studio Learning Screen, that was distributed before the weekend, and then you're going to use the Grasshopper Definition to divide up a surface and then to apply your own tile to the surface. So the first thing you're going to do, this also mirrors, by the way, the PDF print tutorial that's available on the blog site under Screen Tutorials. So the first thing you're going to do after you open the ARC Studio Learning screen file is you can type in Grasshopper, and you're going to open up the ARC Studio screen box morph pattern. It's going to look like this. We went over this in class the other day. And just to zoom on, so remember you can just click up here and it'll minimize. Remember we have these different, over here on the Rhino side, we have these 3 different surfaces that you can work with. And then there's these sample tiles that you can start with. What I would recommend is just to go through the video using one of the tiles that's already here, but then to take this tile, copy it around, and start to make up some of your own. Okay, so if you recall from Studio, the top definition produces a regular grid, and what you're going to do is you're first going to go in over here. There's these notes on these little panels left for you, so I'm going to just clear all the values here. But essentially in both definitions there's a place here on the far left where you plug in your surface. There's a place where there's sliders, number sliders that give U and V direction. Then there's a bunch of the definition that you don't need to touch. And then here is where you plug in your tile. It says it right here. And then the final thing is the geometry, the box morph component that creates the surface for you out of your tile. So for right now you can see they're all orange, nothing's loaded up, and in particular I would definitely make sure when you're starting to go in and disenable the box morph component. The thing that I would do, let's say we're going to go in here, let's first set this surface. So you right click, set one surface. I'm going to pick this big surface. And then the thing that I think it would be good for you to do is to go in, you may open the file and find that this surface domain isotrim is actually, the preview is turned off, so it would be dark. What I recommend that you do is you turn it on, and so what that's going to let you do is it's going to let you see the impact of your number sliders. So over here, without applying the tile, you can just see what kind of a grid you're creating. A very dense grid, more horizontal grid. And so I would start with this command turned on, and just start to play around with the grid a little bit. All right, is it going to be more of a square grid? Is it going to be more horizontal and rectangular, or more vertical? Is it going to be more square? So start with something like that. All right, and then when you have that set to something that you're interested in starting to try, I would come over here to one of the tiles, and then I would come here over to the geometry component, and I would set one geometry. Right. So now that geometry set, you've got this set up. We're going to go in over here and enable the box morph component. And so what you can see over here in Rhino is that that has now populated your surface with that tile. What we can do over here now is go back to the isotrim and turn off the preview so that it's a little bit cleaner for us to see it. And the other thing that you can do is go over to your surface, make sure that's turned off. So now you get a better view of this thing. So let's say you're happy with it. You're going to come over here to the box morph component. You're going to bake it. It's going to ask you, do you want to group it? You're going to say yes, please. Click OK. Sit around for a minute while it generates. Minimize this. Come over here. Going to move your geometry off. I just want to take a look at that for a sec. Okay, it's actually flipped upside down, so we'll take care of that later. Okay, let's go back and do the other one. So we'll do this little one right here, the interior one.